Scouting Report is sponsored by Penn State Health, giving you the care you want, where you want it. Visit PennStateHealth.org to find a provider near you.
We're back on Nittany Game Week. Time for our scouting report. This is one of those matchups that energizes a head coach and all of the coordinators. Going to take everyone's best effort from Sunday through the final whistle on Saturday. And these guys have experienced wins in Ohio Stadium. Coach Paterno, Coach Bradley, let's break down the Buckeyes.
A lot to break down, Todd. A lot of fun here. So we're going to talk a little offense, a little defense, and even a little special teams tonight. So let's start with Ohio State's offense. 3 great receivers, Tom. As you know, they're going to find out if your third cover guy is good enough to cover one of their guys and force you to play zone.
If you don't stop the run game, I mean, so that's what's going to come into. They're going to force you to stop the run game, and then to stop it, you're going to have to get a matchup on the outside, one-on-one somewhere. Yeah,
and Stroud's been able to throw that ball into zones, which is, a guy who's a freshman, that's a tough thing to get to. Now, let's go to the next thing we talk about. Crossing routes, man versus zone. If you get zone, Tom, they read the front side, crossing routes the back side. Talk about what happens if you're a step late coming out of this bunch.
Well, the other thing is bad, as you can see, there's going to be little rub routes going on in there, too.
Nobody picks. No offensive guys
They're
pick.
called rubs, not picks.
That's right.
But if it's man, you can guarantee it'll be a little bit interesting, very close.
And if they get loose, they can go the distance.
They can go the distance.
Now let's talk about the run game, because as much as they throw the ball, they have a big offensive line, 6'5 and a half, 332, and they love to displace. Talk about the zone here.
Well, this is one of the things. Ohio State has prided themselves forever in this play. This has been going on for years here, and they pride themselves in being there with their offensive line. This play is going to be the vision of the back is the key on this play, if he reads the blocking right.
And this freshman's really good, and we'll show you another way they use them. We go to the next thing. Now, when you get inside the 30-yard line, you're worried about the wideouts. They can hit the tight end on you, but they've also done a great job getting their backs involved with things like this and throwbacks and screens.
In the high red zone, this is what they like to do. They don't do it so much upfield. You get this from about the 30 in.
Yeah, and they'll run a bump screen, slow screen, that kind of thing. And this kid is a great receiver. He's got 3 touchdowns. So let's talk about defense. Now, they like to run blitz because they want to slow down your run game and try and keep everything contained. And if you can get outside, you give them some real problems.
You can win if you can get outside. They're not going to let you outside. They're going to keep you in the phone booth.
Yeah, if you look at Oregon, they had some success getting outside on them. And once they did that, they got them out of some of their out of alignment and went north and south on them. And it was really a problem for Ohio State that day. And hopefully Penn State's able to get some things like this going on.
Well, that's the other thing. They've gotten away from a lot of that man free. They're playing more 3 deep. They want 11 eyes on the ball, no big plays.
And you just teed me up. Number 14 is the guy to watch on defense. When you're watching this game at home, find 14 Hickman. If he's down low, they're probably playing man or a 3 deep. If he's back playing the coverage, then you're going to have to read those things. But if with the outside leverage, you'll be able to hit the slants on him. If 14 is down, you can get in there, and that's a chance to get Dots in the ball and have him run with it.
You're going to have to get Dots in the ball this game. He's a big playmaker. You got to get him the ball to win this football game.
No question. So let's take a look at the next slide and see. Here he's back. Now they're playing zone. They've got 6 to block 6 in the run game. You're going to have to be able to run the ball against this front. So let's take a look at what they do here with Indiana. Again, playing coverage, forcing you to play, forcing you to run the football. And if Penn State can do that, they got a chance to kind of control the tempo of the game.
If they sit in 2 deep all day, not good for Penn State.
Now, one other thing, and again, when you play against Ohio State, if they want to go to zone, they've got to get there with 4 guys. So 14 is back playing safety. They've been able to get there on 22 of their 24 sacks by the defensive tackles. Take a look at them with their pass rush group.
Yeah, this defense, to me, is going to live and die with this 4-man rush because they don't have great linebackers this year at Ohio State. I think they're good up front, really good up front, good in the secondary. Those linebackers aren't as good, and they're not blitzing them. They're just going to play coverage.
So let's take a look at special teams. A lot of people, Stout kicks the ball off, put the ball at 25. Ohio State has a different approach, dump and chase. Average starting field position for their opponents is 19-yard line. Take a look at this one. This is a lot of fun if you are covering the kick. Not so much fun for this guy. They got a lot of great speed athletes, so they're going to take their chances trying to get you to bring it out. And here's Oregon at their own 14.
They are looking for nothing but hidden yards. You know, people say, what do you mean hidden yards? Well, hey, guess what? You pick up, we got 3 yards here. We picked up 5. It all starts to add up as the game goes on.
Well, as the game goes on, we continue on with Todd.
Piece of cake, guys. Buckeyes in the horseshoe, no problem at all. Well, we continue our pattern of interviews and stories with unique and interesting connections to college football and Penn State, or their opponent. The latest example is a model Buckeyes fan, literally. Angie Everhart is one of the most famous and accomplished models in the industry. She was born in Akron, Ohio, and was kind enough to join us for a Zoom interview, of course, wearing her Buckeyes gear. There was an effort, though, to sway her allegiance at one time to the blue and white.
I got a letter from Joe Paterno and Tom Bradley saying to my young newborn son, "We are recruiting you. We have our eye on you." And it was signed. It was the full recruitment letter. My parents were so impressed by that. And my dad was like, "Well, if it was Ohio State, I'd be more impressed."
All right, so Everhart will be rooting hard for her Buckeyes on Saturday in Ohio Stadium. As a thyroid cancer survivor, she also pays close attention to and is encouraged by all of the breast cancer awareness in the month of October.
We have mothers, sisters, friends, and it's a wonderful thing to honor women and to celebrate the women who have survived breast cancer and to raise awareness for people so that they don't detect it too late. If you see something, go to the doctor.
Penn State at Ohio State is a 4:30 start for Angie on the West Coast. You can see our full interview at NittanyGameWeek.com. Time to take a break. When we come back, our Impact interview, one of the best in the biz. Play-by-play man Chris Fowler. He's calling the game for ABC along with Kirk Herbstreit. He'll tell us what PSU needs to do to beat OSU in the horseshoe. More Nittany Game Week is just ahead.